Okay, so this video is going to be another case in point for the tiny hammer, and probably one of the few times you'll see somebody using black flags. I'm not going to lie though, I honestly think that the black flags are great. As I'm saying that, I'm having to make an adjustment to this handle. The rubber has twisted around, it seems. I put a lot of use on it though, so it's holding up good. It's my own little flat flag. Yeah, I got dirt all under my fingernails. My water heater exploded, so I can't even wash my hands right now. I'm having to wash my hands with wet wipes for the time being. It's hard to get the nails clean like that. Anyway, so I was having issues with this guy. A lock that at one point was, just like a really fun pick that I enjoyed. And then all of a sudden, it's a struggle, and I still don't understand exactly what's wrong. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had an attack of the sinuses. But the inner pins are sticking inside of the key pin, right? So this one, it has one standard, and then all the other key pins are mushrooms, and then 4 spools and one standard up top. But I took it apart because I started suspecting that the inner pin was, let me just get this right here. Get the dirt out from under my nail. That's driving me crazy looking at it on camera. So I imagine it's probably distracting. Anyway, that's enough of that. I took it apart and I checked it out, and sure enough, the inner pins, and even when they're seated, they stick up over top of the key pin a little bit, and then even with the pressure of the springed inner pin. What kind of beetle? I have never seen such a creature. They still stay stuck like that, and so then I started picking, like, I get to focus, start picking like this. I get in there, and I'd stop short, and I'd lift up on the side of it like that. And hold on a second. Let me put the do not disturb on. So I was lifting them up like that, and then trying to work the inner pin, and they're still sticking. So I might not even be able to open this again. I hope this doesn't turn into a cursed video. But yeah, like I said, this is another great case for the existence of tiny hammer. Why I think that everyone should have tiny hammer. Not reflective enough. Ooh, I like that. What do you guys think about that? Do a thumb check. Terrible. Scooch and a turn. And then can I... Oh diddly oh dokey day. There's 4 minutes in. Here we go. Click. Key. Just kidding. Okie dokie. Now let's see. Well, I'll be damned, y'all. I'm missing the main ingredient. Oh, right here. Okay, here we go. Tiny hammer. All right. Here we go. Everything is usually going pretty good until about the third pin. And then you gotta get the inner pin. That's also where the standard is, and that's like the lowest lift pin in there. And I swear I feel like having the standard pin on that lowest lift pin makes it a little bit trickier. I moved it to there though because it was low enough lift that it was like, it felt like it was cheating a spool, you know. Okay, here we go. Pin number 2. It takes me a bit because I'm having to lift on the edge. There we go. Took a second to get that inner pin. And then now right here is where things usually start falling apart. Oops. Now you see that right there? Now 1 is good, the inner pin is good, 2 is good. Right there, I'm hung in. So I know the inner pin is hit too. And then number 3. So there's 4. Come back. That's the edge of 3. So then it feels like nothing in there. Here's 5. 5 is actually a little tight. But all right, I'm not gonna mess with it just yet. So I'm gonna push up, and I'm never gonna let my thumb. Can't see my thumb. I'm never gonna let my thumb actually go lower. I'm only gonna let it return to where it started. And then I'm gonna take tiny hammer. Oh yeah, of course. It's not. Get out of here, beetle. It's not gonna work now. But 3 is springy. I'm in the inside of the thing. So that pin is caught. I don't understand how there's anything on 5, to be completely honest. I heard something click when I pushed on 5. Okay. So that time it wasn't overset. It would appear that no, don't do me that way. Yeah. The inner pin, I just assumed that 3, the inner pin on 3 stuck again. And it was actually the inner pin on number 2 had fallen out. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what kind of feedback I'm encountering right there. But number 5 actually is binding a bit. But this should be so much further forward. Like it should be in so much deeper of a false set. And the C now number 1 is dropping back down. So something was a little hung up there, but I didn't have to beat it with tiny hammer. I was really wanting to get to beat it with tiny hammer though, because the last time I got to use tiny hammer 3 times, and it was so neat just to tap in, and then all of a sudden, it goes and cracks forward. It was fun, but leave it to the camera to make a liar out of me. Where am I at? 2. Is that really 4? 4 is so high up there. All right. Number 5 is a little tricky because it lifts just high enough up that the edge, like the slope portion of the pin, kind of disappears into the warding a bit, and then see if I can get it to focus. See that inner pin that goes nice and deep up in there? Right now, though, I am lacking a lot of counter rotation. It feels like it's going to overset. See, that doesn't feel quite right either. Okay, what was that? Felt something. I was fixing to reach for tiny hammer, but I can't tell if that's the inner pin or the edge of the pin. Although I'll tell you one thing though, I feel like for sure is that I should have been reaching for tiny hammer. Bam! Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see Tiny Hammer? Did you see what he did? I love Tiny Hammer. Tiny Hammer lives right there. Tiny Hammer fucking rocks. Okay, number 4. I'm gonna try and just scoot underneath it for the time being there. And see. Number 5 feels good. So I'm gonna try and lift number 4 from the back of the pin because it feels easier in my mind. Like pulling toward myself rather than pushing seems to help keep the dimple flag right where it needs to be, like good and flush up against the wall here. So here's the problem. You can feel some stuff, right? But then it's easier to overset in this position because you're not as rotated forward as you should be. I'm in a bit of a different angle. Bam! Fucking Tiny Hammer, baby. What's up? Okay, that's cool. That's good. Okay. There we go. Tiny hammer. Let's fucking go, tiny hammer. Yeah, baby. And, I don't care what anybody says. Tiny hammer is a legitimate form of attack. All right? If you're going to open a lock with another lock, then you can tiny hammer open a Mul-T-Lock Jr. that's inner pins want to lodge inside the key pins for whatever reason. I think what it is, so they start above, like, if you take the plug out, the inner pin's set like that much above the outer key pin. And I think there's milling in there or something. And then where they're already pushed inside the key pin from the starting position, that they hang on there. And then the spring tension from the top inner pin pushing down locks it into that place or something. Because I'm telling y'all, I am taking great care to, if my nasty ass fingernail is the threshold and then right there is the inner pin, I'm taking great care, and I can feel the difference to lift from right here. So I'm not touching this inner pin, and then even with the spring tension above, it's still hanging on there. And again, like I said, you can say whatever, but dude, I don't care if that was on somebody's front door. I can take a soft rubber mallet and beat your front door all I want to. You know what I mean? And I'm talking in a locksmith sort of sense of things. Like, that's how I judge this. The lock sport hobby in general, like, well, is that a legitimate open, or is it, or isn't it, and blah, blah, blah. I feel like, theoretically at least, that should be off the basis of a real life scenario where I am providing a service for somebody in need. You know what I mean? Yeah. Does anybody want to see this thing gutted? Yeah, let's do it real quick because it won't take me no time. And I always used to like, when I was watching videos, I always like to see what was inside the lock. You don't always know. You don't always know what's in there. And you might want to get to see, who knows who's what. I feel like, though, all the people that watch my videos, that you all already know good and well exactly what's inside this. Come on now. I'm going to take it over here. I'll drop that. Lock it back up. Dude, the craziest thing earlier, I'm going to zoom in on it even. Focus right there. You see that dead fly in that Moki turner? I took pictures of it when it was still fresh and you could literally see a little drop of blood. I swear, I picked this and then the Moki fell out of it and it fell down and hit and killed a fly. Like, what's the odds? How crazy is that? My 1.2 millimeter Moki turner has bodies on it now. On its own too. Like, that's not me. It's not on me. I didn't. It's not bodies on it wielded as a weapon. Like, it has its own achieved body count on its own power. It took a life. See, let me get some tweezers and a tool, and I guess I should start doing picking guts more often. Shit, only seems fair. If you're gonna set, anybody that sets and makes it this far through one of my videos deserves, because it's just a common curiosity, common question, like, what's in there, Oh no, look at that. It's hard to see, I think, with this, but tiny hammer is a lot more hateful than I thought it was. Damn. All right. So with these, it's fairly safe to just take it all the way up and ride right across the top of the key. But then you got this little spot here that you could get. So I go like right about there like that. Then turn the pins upward, holes in the follower downward, and then just shove it right on out of there. Five. Oh, I messed up. But y'all, it took me forever to, and I went through all the phases like, you just suck, dude. You're just not no good. to something's wrong with this lock, And then I started just really focusing and honing in, paying attention. And then finally, I was like, just the way that it's oversetting or the way it's acting and kind of oversetting, it just occurred to me like that seems like it's the only thing that could be wrong is that those key pins are kind of sticking in there. Oh, these little key pins are spooled on the top too. And I was wrong. There's 2 standard pins in here. But we might be able to fix that. I got a mushroom pin right here. Just a little too long. Yeah, it's definitely a little too long. I got another one though somewhere around here. I think it's a different size. It might be longer. Anyway, it's not what you're here for. Okie dokie. Here we go. Pin 1. A D. All 3. Push springs down. Uh, 6. So this is day 3 of me copycatting what I see other people pick and then doing a video of it myself because I have absolutely no imagination or creativity of my own. It's not really day 3, it's instance 3 of me doing that. Get out of there. Spooled. This one may not be. I guess they all are. Yeah, so all the inner pins are spooled. Or the inner key pins are anyway. I guess maybe they're all that way. I don't know. None of the top ones are. They're just straight inner pins on the spools. But I guess just in case there's some sort of hilarious mishap, we'll go ahead and keep the camera rolling. I don't know, dude. 25 fucking minutes long already. It was all right a minute ago at like 16 minutes, I guess. But I remember when I first got this. Okay. So I remember when I first got this, I bought it off Amazon for like $40, I think. And It was either the third or fourth dimple lock I'd ever gotten. Two of them were regular dimple locks, and then this one and a Mul-T-Lock Classic. And yeah, I opened it up out of the box, used Sparrow's black flags, and picked it, and was like, man, that was so fun. That was great. That was so cool. Like all that counter rotation and this, that, and the other. Like, man, that's what lock picking is supposed to be like. And then it sat there for a long time, and now it sucks. I hate it. I don't. I don't enjoy picking it at all. Like, it was a struggle, and I'm honestly wondering. So I've got it in my head. If you have trouble, you just need to put blaster in it. That's it. That's not always true. And before I even went to pick this again, after kind of rediscovering it, I went ahead and gave it a good dousing of blaster, right? And then got it open, and then it stuck, a little trouble, and then got it open again, and then, I was like, man, that's not as fun as I remember. So I gave it a good dousing of blaster. And then it got worse. And I'm thinking that, son of a bitch. I've got this stubborn phone right in my fucking way. So yeah, anyway, I gave it more blaster, and I'm starting to wonder if that's what caused the problem. Like, I've siliconed the crap out of it, so I've in essence like made the inner pins thicker, or just given them more resistance in there, you know what I mean? I tried scrubbing the pins and that sort of thing, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, because these two, that was really fun, and you had to pay attention. It took a lot of having to pay attention, read the feedback, and you had a lot of forward rotation and counter rotation, just all the good fun stuff of lock picking, and then it sucked. So that's the only thing I can think of, is that I screwed it up with how much blaster. But if that is the case, that's good news, because it should just fix itself soon enough, shouldn't it? But you would think it would have already done that. So I don't know. And now I don't know how I feel about this video. I was feeling pretty good about it when it was 16 minutes long. I need tobacco. Oh, people, I'll tell you what, though, I had a good dinner. What's the food like where y'all at? Tell me about what y'all are eating. I'm dreaming of non-chemical pizzas and just good, healthy food. Seems to be harder and harder to find these days. I'm going to start doing my shopping with the Amish, though, man. All right, there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry for the unnecessary 13 and a half minutes. Happy picking. Live a good life. I wish you the best.